day, everybody. Wow, I'm finally getting to do this. Welcome, everyone, to my YouTube channel. But I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I can't even lie. Like, this has actually been a long time coming. I just always keep procrastinating, keep posting, and maybe because of work, I just have been making excuses why I shouldn't be doing this. But I believe that I'm going to have fun here, right? We're going to have fun together. We're going to grow. And we're going to just be having a nice time. So today I wanted to do this video just sitting in a sofa, just relax and just having a nice time gisting with you, or even though it's I'm just talking to myself right now, but I know that it's going to be a nice time together. So welcome to my first YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing a question and answer. It's just that day where I get to answer questions. Okay, so I did this thing on my WhatsApp, where I have my closer contacts and one or two people that I business and all of that, but closer people. And I just put word out that I'm going to be starting my channel, and I wanted people to just send in questions, so that I can just people can get to know a little bit more about me, ask questions. And some of the questions I got are so deep, like I was just reading through some of the questions and I was like, now wow, some people you guys are too serious. Anyways, I know we're going to have fun. Please forgive me, this is new to me, but I just hope that you enjoyed this video. So you guys are going to be my first subscribers, those of you watching this video now, so please support me, encourage me to so that I can do more videos. Like this video, please subscribe. I can kneel down now. Okay, so let's get into the question and answer session. All right, so the first one says, you are so beautiful. I love your hair. Please, what state are you from? Okay, thank you thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. I'm from Benue State. My father is from Benue State. I'm from Otupo, to be particular. I'm half Filipino, half Nigerian. So thank you. That's where I'm from. I hope you're okay with that answer. Okay, let's get to the second question. I'm trying to be comfortable on this chair. How many kids do you want? How many kids do you want? Okay, so well, initially before I got married, I actually wanted to have like 4 or 5 children. I wanted a very full home, but let me be honest. Right now, to be honest though, I don't mind 2 children. But if God dashes me 1 extra, I can go and tie my womb, because I don't think I want to have more than 3 children anymore. But yes, I would love to have 2, maximum 3 children. Okay, so somebody asked, what are your top 3 secrets to keep a happy, healthy home? All these questions, you guys are supposed to be asking me things like, what food do you like most? What's your, just things you guys are asking. Okay. What are your top 3 secrets to keep a happy, healthy home? What are your top 3 secrets to keep a happy, healthy home? Happy, healthy. Okay, for me, I know everybody has, their own secrets, how they run their own marriage, how they run their own family. But for me, I think I would say the first one that has kept my home, a happy, healthy home, should be love. Yes, I think love tops the list. Love is number one. And why do I say love? I think, love is a decision. I think love is a decision to, um, serve another human being. Yes, that is love. A lot of people actually think love is just that emotion, that rush of emotion, or that love is just you having butterflies in your tummy, in marriage and all of that. But to be honest, I think love is actually that decision, to serve another human being, to serve someone else, right? And I think that is one key thing that has kept my home a very happy and healthy, home. Because every day, that I wake up, I know that I'm committed to serving this person. I'm committed to making sure that I meet his needs, and that can only come from a place of real, authentic, genuine love. So every day I wake up, okay, how can I serve my husband better? What areas can I get, to be better? What ways can I show him that I actually love, honor, and respect him? So all those things help me to, show him and to tell him that, okay, I value you, I cherish you, and I really do mean it when I say that I love you, right? So this means that I want him to always have peace of mind. I want him to always feel refreshed, So yes, I think love is a very big secret for us. Love, according to the Bible, is patient, kind, loving, selfless, puts the other person before themselves. Love is not boastful, love is not proud, and I believe that once two people can, practice real, genuine love, that is that decision. Remember, not the feeling, not the butterfly in your tummy kind of love, no, but that decision to be there for your partner, to show up always, to support them, to your best ability. I think that is the beginning of having a healthy, home and marriage, right? The second thing will have to be communication. Like my husband and myself, we talk a lot, we chat a lot, we communicate quite often, like every day. Like he's out of the house and he calls me on a video call, or he sends me a message, or I send him, or he calls me. No matter how busy his day is going or my day is going, we try our best to make sure that we're always talking to one another. When something is bothering me or bothering him, we don't have problems sharing it with one another. We always make sure that we're communicating. Look, my voice is not too low. Yeah, so we always make sure we're communicating, we're talking, that I think that keeps the relationship, it keeps it fresh, it just keeps it going smoothly because you're always talking to one another. And this is why you should marry somebody that you can talk to, someone that's your buddy, your best friend, and all that. Yeah, so that's the second secret. The third one would be we're very spontaneous, like we're a spontaneous couple, right? It's not everything that is planned. I think marriage can get boring, like when you're with one person. People that are married should understand or should know this, right? You're with one person, all your life, and you know that, okay, you're going to be with this person for, like, sometimes I'm like, okay, like there's another 65, 70, 80 years coming. Like I'm just 5 years plus in marriage. And I'm like, oh, so we still have like this forever to go. Like it's forever to go. You understand? So I think something that has really helped us to have a healthy and a happy home, are those spontaneous moments, those moments where, we break through the everyday routine. Every day you wake up, you kind of know what to expect from that day, right? But that part where your husband just calls back and says, okay, babe, get dressed, let's go out. Or, okay, today we're going for fish. or today we're going, Abuja is a very boring place. There are no beaches here. Yes, I live in Abuja. So you just like, well, come, okay, let's go here today. And we'll go have fun, together. Sometime, okay, let's do a movie. I know you're working, close your laptop, let's do a movie, today. And we have that moment, so a lot of spontaneity. Sometimes my husband will just, come back, buy me a gift. I think he's more spontaneous than I am, to be honest. He's more, and that's so good. That's really helpful. Please, I'm also spontaneous, so I can also, be a romantic person. But my husband wins it, hands down. Right? He's the romantic one. He's the one that will go out and say, okay, let me buy my wife this bag. But let me, just like that. Even though sometimes I'm like, why is he buying this kind of bag? But yeah, he does all that, and I'm really grateful for that because that has kept. It makes me happy. Oh, really? Thank you, babe. Oh, thank you. So it makes me happy. Sometimes I just create one nice meal, and he's like, hi, this is my wife. Spontaneous. Just think of new ways to be spontaneous, and I think that is one thing that has kept my marriage, a very healthy and a very happy one. Yeah. So love, a lot of communication, and a lot of spontaneity in the relationship. What is your favorite TV show? What is my favorite TV show? Okay, to be honest, TV show. To be honest, currently, or for the past over a year, if not 2 years, I think since after COVID or even before COVID, yes, we've stopped subscribing for DSTV in my house. So I don't really have any TV show that I watch right now. Yes, so we do, Netflix and all of that, and I don't really have any show that I watch that I would say is my favorite on Netflix. You know how Netflix is now. You just turn on a show and you just watch it at once, in one sitting or maybe in a week. Right, so I don't really have any favorite TV show at the moment, but if it is for movies, I enjoy to watch detective, investigative movies a lot. Yes, I love investigative movies a lot. I love the suspense. I love movies that, I'm thinking, I don't know, I can't calculate the end because I know how to predict movies. Okay, this is how it's going to end. But I love movies that, keep my brain, wanting for more. So I just want to know what's going to happen. So I love suspense, investigative movies. I also love, after investigative movies, I think it will be love action. Well, it depends on how good they are. But yeah, I love movies, romantic movies. I also love some action. Yeah. What is your idea of success? What is your idea of success? Okay, what is my idea of success? I think success is fulfilling your purpose. I think that's my idea of success. We live in a world where people think that success is about how much money you have, how many cars you're driving, how popular you are, or how whatever their own the society or the world measures success to be. But for me, I would always put purpose in front because I don't know, purpose is you doing the needful, you doing okay. Let me give an illustration. Yesterday night, I asked my baby who lives with me. Yeah, so I asked her to do, because my son's school asked them to make a hat, because of the just to make a hat. This is February now, month of love, so they asked them to make a hat, and I told my girl, Clara, I was like, "Oh, Clara, please help me, make a hat." I had cardboard paper in the house, and I was like, "Help me make a hat." And she went onto YouTube and, started to make a heart, as in the heart that she wear. Meanwhile, I wanted a heart. Do you get? And she went ahead to do a heart, and that heart was beautiful. I think where is that heart till? Anyways, it was beautiful. And she did it very well. Like if the project in my son's school was a heart, you know, he would have probably gotten 90, 95 because it was a very beautiful one made out of cardboard paper. And she spent a lot of time doing that. And I was wondering because I was waiting for her to come and say, "Oh, Mercy, I've done the heart," you know. And she came out with a hat. And I'm like, heart? Like I meant a heart. You know, maybe it's my accent or the way I said it, you know. But you know, those two words sound alike, right? Yes, heart and heart. And she heard heart and she did a heart. And I wanted a heart, you know, and she had to go back to make a heart, you know. So the heart that she made, the heart, you know, even though it was beautiful and it was, you know, huge success, that wasn't what I needed. That wasn't the purpose of her doing, you know, that thing that I asked her to do. So she had to do it again, and she had to give me the heart. You know, and sent a lot to me, you know, a lot of message to me, because at the end of the day, it's about what are you supposed to be doing, you know. What are you supposed to be doing? Because you may end up doing something and then you're doing that thing and it's not what you're supposed to be doing. And at the end of the day, it's almost useless, even though you may have been successful in that. So I think every human being has that, you know, job, that responsibility to, you know, find out what exactly are you here for. And that's definitely a journey that you have to go, you know, go on or go with, you know, with God, because He's your creator and He's the one that can, you know, show you all that, and He's the one that will tell you, and He's the one that will guide you, you know, through. So I think purpose to me has a lot, success to me has a lot to do with your purpose, right? It can be being a school teacher and just influencing, you know, children there. It can be, you know, whatever it is. And when you're in your purpose, you find grace, you find ease, you find that, you know, it's just easy for you, you know, to flow in there. And you're just finding a lot of fulfillment doing that, you know. Yeah, so that is what I define as success. Anybody that can get it right doing their purpose. And you find that most people who are working in their purpose, they give it their all. They do it well. You know, they do it well because they are enjoying what they're doing, and they are it's not just about, you know, making a living anymore. It's about you know, doing that thing that gives you pleasure, doing that thing that makes you really, really feel, you know, fulfilled and, you know, happy, you know. So that's what I think success is about. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Do you have any regrets? Regrets. Not really. I've had some really you know, low moments in my life, moments where I'm not necessarily proud of, but regrets, I wouldn't call them regrets, because I think they made me to be a better person. They also prepared me for the future. Like if I find myself in such situations, I'm sure, or I believe that I will, you know, I'll do better, you know. And I think that's the reason why we go through some difficult situations, with some challenges, some temptations. You know, they're all there to help us, you know, come out stronger. Yeah. So I don't really have any regrets. So you seem quiet, and your marriage seems perfect. Are you really quiet? Hey, I'm not quiet though. I'm not quiet. I don't know where you've seen me, but I'm not quiet. I don't think I'm a quiet person. But I'm not a noisemaker too. I'm not a loud person. I'm not a noisemaker. but I'm not quiet, right? Especially with my close circle, I'm not quiet at all. I can talk. I talk a lot. I'm a very opinionated person. I love to exchange my ideas. I love to say, what I have on my mind. I don't hold it back. So I'm not quiet. I know that I'm not quiet. I can argue for Africa, not for Africa. But when I don't agree with something, I always make sure, I come to a place where even if I don't agree, at least I'll say what, is on my own mind. So I'm not quiet. Yes. Your marriage is perfect. No marriage is perfect. No couple has it 101% all together, right? We're all just on a journey, learning, navigating through life, and nobody has it perfect. Nobody has it all together. Even though some people have it better, and I think I'm privileged to, have a good marriage, but that doesn't mean that it's perfect. We have moments, low moments, we have high moments, we have really, really high moments, Yeah, but with the tips that I shared, in the beginning of this video, I think that we've been able to weather the storm, we've been able to hold it together, and build a really happy and healthy marriage, right? But that doesn't mean that we're perfect. Perfection on this earth is an illusion. That's what I think. You just keep going and keep going, and there's always room to be better. There's always room to have a better marriage. There's always room to, have a better relationship. So yeah, perfection is really an illusion. How have you practically succeeded in setting a culture? So there's culture here, there's also structure for family. Your family, practical, practical, there's culture, there's structure for your family around your beliefs, and routines. Okay, so where do I start from answering this question? How have I practically succeeded, right, in setting up structure and culture around beliefs and routines? Wow. Okay, so let's start with what culture is. Culture is a way of life of a group of people, right? We're all taught that in primary school. Yes, so culture is a way of life of a group of people. And when you talk about culture, you think of elements like language, like food, like attire, dressing, like the mindsets, the way, the belief system. You think about things like, the kind of work, the kind of occupation that is prevalent in that area or community. And that's what culture is. And every family has culture. Every family has, a way that they live. And this includes, just like the elements I just mentioned, the way they eat, the way they dress, the way they, speak, the kinds of, the way they think as a family, and all that. These are all important aspects of family culture. We've talked about what culture is, right? Now, let's talk about the culture influencers in the family. And I feel like I need to say this because, this question is directed at me, and I'm a woman, I'm a wife, And I want every woman, every wife out there to understand the power that they have as wives in the home, You need to understand the power that you have, the grace that you carry, There is grace. It's a grace that we have. The Bible uses the church and Christ, as a model for marriage, for the family, right? And it says, just like Christ is the head of the church, that is also how a husband is the head of his wife, right? And this, this actually means so much to me. Whenever I read that scripture, I'm always like, wow, because there's so many aspects to this. And one aspect, I know that we talk a lot about the aspect of, that means that, women should submit to their husbands as Christ submits to the church, hallelujah. And then men should love their wives, which is an argument from now to eternity. But that is not the discussion for today, right? The discussion for today is, how about the aspect where Christ, because Christ is the head of the church, Christ has given the church the authority, the power to influence for him on the earth. The church is the influencing body of Christ on the earth, right? So Christ has a plan. Christ has an agenda. Christ has his will. He has his ways. He has his character. He has his nature, which he wants to see established on the earth. And who is responsible for ensuring that these things, this will, this character, this nature, these plans and purposes and agenda of Christ is or happens on the earth? The church. Okay, the church of Jesus. And that is also how I see the relationship between a man and his wife. Okay, a man has plans, a man has projects, he has purposes, I'm not saying that as a woman you have your plan and you have your purposes as well, but there's that place where both of you meet, okay, because you have to be, trying to achieve one common goal at the end of the day, okay, despite the fact that you may be doing different things or whatever. As a family, there has to be a plan, there has to be, and in that family structure, there's somebody who is responsible for, setting the pace, and that is the man, the husband. The husband has a plan, the husband has a project, the husband has, something that he wants to get done. Let's say, in a year, for example, a man wakes up in the morning as maybe, the year just begun, and he wakes up and says, okay, I think that I would love for us to buy a land this year, right? The man says that, okay, and then what does he do? He says that in his heart. What is the next thing he does? I don't know if I should call it subconsciously or if I should say, but he just does it naturally. The next thing that he will do is he just calls his wife, babe, honey, lover, whatever he calls you. Okay, my husband calls me babe. So, babe, I want us to buy a land this year. And he's not just saying this to his wife because he just wants to say it or because she's his wife. No, he's saying it because he knows that the woman has the grace to ensure that this thing happens, this plan, this project, this agenda of his happens. And if you are a man and you're not maximizing this grace upon your wife, you are missing out big time. I'm telling you, it is a grace that has been given to women. Women are culture influencers in the home. They are. When you tell a woman, when you say, okay, she will just find a way to make it happen. She will begin to cut down on things. She will begin to, if you don't carry your wife along, it will be difficult because you are doing it and it's not what you're supposed to be doing. It is the woman that ensures. Have you not gone to some churches or to establishments where you see a man and his wife, they are running? The man has the plan, the man has it, but it is the woman that is running the whole thing. It's her that she's the one getting things done. And this is a very important thing. Okay, and I'm saying this because I'm approaching this question from a woman's perspective, okay? And I'm trying to say that a woman is very powerful, and until women understand the power that they have in driving culture and structure in their families, all right, especially around beliefs and routines, then we now know what we're talking about. Okay, so let me share practical steps that have helped me to, push down or to influence culture and structure around beliefs and routines. Okay, so the first one would be making it fun, having fun approaches. All right, so now we're talking about routines. Routines can get pretty boring. Routines can get tiring, right? For example, let me give a practical example. You have a meal plan. I started meal planning because I was tired of always asking my husband, what do you want to eat? And then he'll say, I don't know. And then when you make what you want, what came to your own mind, as a thinker, you now go and make what came to your mind or with all your heart. Then your husband will now say, is this what you made? And you'll be like, hey, I don't understand. Didn't I ask you? You say you don't know. And I've made what came to my own mind, and you're still asking me, this is what I made. This is what I made, sir. Enjoy, my lord. So this happens a lot, and I know I'm not alone. It happens a lot in marriages, and a lot of this thing is one of the major reasons why we do meal planning. Because it just helps you, it just takes that stress off your brain. Aside from that, you want your family to enjoy, a balanced meal, wholesome meals through the week, through the month, through the year. you also don't want to always wake up and be thinking, what am I going to eat today? You've sat down, thought about it critically, looked at the different aspects of food, and you've infused that into your meal plan, right? So now you have your meal plan. Okay, and trust me, because it becomes a routine, sorry, it can get pretty tiring, pretty boring. Okay, so some days, right? For example, in your meal plan, maybe there's rice and stew twice in that meal plan in a week. Okay, so some days you can say, okay, instead of rice and stew, let's do rice, like that's regular stew. Let's do rice and banga stew. Ofeku, Igbo people, sorry, please. Or let's do rice and pepper soup. Or let's do rice and Chinese stir fry, chicken stir fry, beef stir fry. There are 1,000,001 ways that you can eat white rice. Hope you know. Yeah, watch it with more fun. You brought fun to the table. So even though your family know that there's a routine that is already established, they also do not always know what to expect out of that routine. Do you understand? Because some people will just set the meal plan and just say, okay, this is meal plan, we must follow it. Oh, follow. They cannot change their mind. That is it. That is the end. Okay. No, we must also learn how to infuse fun approaches. Fun approach is so important. It's so important. You don't want your family to be doing, to be eating food or doing things that they don't really love to do. They're eating food, they don't like this thing. Okay, let me just, like, for example, my husband doesn't really like to eat beans. Okay, he doesn't really like beans. That's like beans, as in beans, not plain beans with rice. He likes that, but just beans. And I feel like beans is very important for my child because he's growing. Protein, beans is a very good source of protein, plant protein for my son. Okay, and because my husband doesn't like it, doesn't mean that I will now take it out completely. All right, but I know that, okay, if there's bread or if there's plantain, he'll like it. He prefers it. Okay, so whenever I want to do beans, I'll fry plantain, but I'll make sure there's bread available in the house. I'll not, because I know that, okay, it's not really, so I will not just go and say, okay, because there is beans that is there, take beans, sir. So you just have to approach it with a little bit of more fun, and learn how to switch things up once in a while. All right, that helps you to practically influence culture, around your routines. Okay, so the second thing I would say is showing it. When I say showing it, I mean you have to lead by example. When you're talking of culture, you're talking of, there's what they call tangible culture. There's what they call intangible culture. I don't know if I'm right, though. It's been long I did this thing, but I think there's something like that. And I think under intangible culture, you're talking of things like belief systems, values, and all of that, right? And in a family, okay, for example, you want to teach your children how to read. You want them to have a culture of reading. You love, Bill Gates' children, they read. You love to see children that read. Hey. And then you want to, but you're always pressing your phone. You're always on Instagram. You're always on Facebook. You're always on WhatsApp. You're always on Instablog. You're just always on your phone. And phones are very, especially because the children of these days, that's what they see, right? Whether you are even pressing your phone always or not, they are just, this is the era of technology, the digital era, right? So it just comes naturally to them. So in this era, you have to even be double, like even us when there were no phones, we to even read self was a struggle, like to even, like Africans, right? To develop that habit of reading was a struggle for us. You had to go out of your own way to read, like to develop the culture of reading, okay? How much more now where there's so much content, there's so much, technology, phone devices, from laptops to tabs to telephones to TV screens, everything is just designed to distract these children. You as a parent, like, we have times 100 work to do. Like, sometimes I think about it and I'm scared, because we have times 100 work to do. Like, even if you don't want to be on your phone, everything is just designed to keep you on your phone. You have your calendars on your phone, you have your work on your phone, you have your Bible on your phone. Like, I want to read my Bible, and I love my phone Bible so much because there's you have everything on that app. You can compare, you have different versions, you have commentaries, you have everything is just on the phone, compared to now holding a physical, a physical Bible, and then you now start flipping pages. It's just easier on the phone. But you have to make deliberate efforts. Okay, I need to read my Bible with my physical, so that my child can see me reading my Bible, because I'm holding my phone. He will not understand that I'm reading my Bible. He may think that I'm just entertaining myself or playing or doing something something else with my phone. So these are very deliberate, intentional efforts that we have to put in mind or put to play, right? So you have to show them. You want to develop a culture of a habit of reading in your children, and they're always on your phone. You say, oh, go and read your book. They will not read. I'm telling you, you have to pick up a book and read. You have to drop your phone sometime. Okay, so you have to be reading to show them how to read. You can't just be talking and talking. You see, children they learn from the things that we do. They learn from, like, everything that we show them goes straight into their subconscious. You don't need to say it. You don't need to say it. I'm telling you, you don't need to say it at all. You show it to them. Okay? And that is one practical way that has helped me, right? So I want to teach my child how to read. I have to hold a book. I'm telling you, even if it's for you, even if you don't like to read, just hold it and be looking through the pages. It helps them a lot. Okay, another aspect of this showing it is character, our character. You see, some people, they want their children to be empathetic. Oh, they want their children to be kind. You want your child to be loving. You want your child to be respectful. But how do you treat people around you? You are very cruel. You're very malicious. You're very, you're very bad-mouthed. Like, you can't wait to just insult somebody. And then you want your child to be gentle and kind and nice and empathetic. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. No, you can't influence culture like that. You have to show them. You have to be kind to people. You have to be empathetic to people. You have to be generous. This my child is too stingy. Are you stingy? It's true. You have to, show love if you want to see love in your children. So you need to show them. You need to show them by your own lifestyle. Okay? You need to show them by the way that you do your own things. That is the easiest way to do this thing. That is the easiest. You have to lead by example, right? You have to just show it. Okay? And even to your partner, even to your husband. The third thing which I would like to share, the third point, I think would be, you have to say it. You communicate it to your family members, to your husband. You communicate it. Let's say there's something that is wrong. Let's say you people are always using phones, for example, in the family, and you don't want that. You don't want to develop that kind of culture, that kind of habit. Do you tell your partner? Do you say, okay, honey, I think I'm always on my phone, just like as you are always on your phone? I'm not saying you should. Some people, sometimes, like, I don't think if you do this, but sometimes I find myself doing it. I just finished pressing my phone, and my husband too maybe he's on his phone, and I'll be like, babe, let's drop our phone. Drop your phone now. And me too, have been on my phone. So it's so easy to point. How did the Bible say it? There's a log in your eye, but you're looking at the speck in the other person's eye, right? Yes. So just because maybe you just dropped your phone for 5 minutes, then your husband is the one that's been on his phone all day. Then you start quarreling, you're angry, I don't know if this happens to you, but this happens to me sometimes, and then you just drop the phone now. If I have dropped mine, just drop your own. You have to be patient. You have to. That's another point there too. You have to approach these things with patience, right? Teaching a child to read, the reading is not an easy thing, no. Even when you're showing it, it's not easy. right? Especially when there are so many things calling for this child's attention. Even you yourself, a lot of things are calling for your attention. So it's not like just developing this habit, this culture, this lifestyle. It's not like it's easy, but you have to, embrace patience, both for your partner, both for your children. You have to embrace a lot of patience, because you're going to be needing patience. Your child, to encourage them to read, is patience. Sometimes they will not answer you. Your husband, sometimes he will not answer you, but you have to be patient. Okay, so I think patience too is actually, a very critical part of, this question of being able to, successfully influence your family, with culture and structure around beliefs and routines, right? So I think I've answered this question enough. So let's go to the next question. Has a B part. It says, how have you done that without undermining the responsibility and authority of your husband in the home? How have you done that without undermining the responsibility and authority of your husband in the home? Wow. Well, I'll say that carry grace with humility. My pastor always says this. He always says, carry grace, carry it with humility. And I think that's my answer to this question, because sometimes those tendencies are there, right? Like, let's talk about the meal plan. So, for example, in the first place, you set up that meal plan because you don't want days where if your husband comes over. So, you know that thing where couples do this a lot, like married couples. You ask yourself, babe, what are we going to eat today? And you're like, I don't know anything. This is a very common thing, that happens in families, and it can annoy wives. It annoys us. What do you mean by you don't know? Like, and at the end of the day, you go and cook the food, and the husband will be like, is it what you made? Well, I asked you now, and you said you don't know. I don't know if married women are feeling me, but this is something that happens a lot, in homes. Happens like frequently, and I also used to have this challenge, and that was one of those were one of, aside from I wanted my family to eat more balanced meals. I also was tired of asking that question, what are we going to eat today? I said, man, this is a meal plan that will solve this wahala, this matter. So I started meal plans, and some days my husband will call and be like, okay, babe, what are we supposed to have tonight, right? And I'll be like, oh, it's swallow. And he'll be like, swallow, I don't feel like eating swallow today, right? My husband is not really a swallow person, okay, and I don't feel like having swallow today. Some women will be like, what do you mean by you don't feel like having swallow today? What do you mean by you don't feel? You must have that swallow today, because is it not meal plan? We have a meal plan. Have you forgotten? So that swallow, you're gonna eat it, man. And it may not seem wrong to you, but you think that is right? I think the right thing to do is, okay, what will you like to have? Or should I do this instead? Because these are some of the ways that, you still tell your husband that, honey, I respect you, I honor you. Do you understand? And what I would do usually, I'll be like, okay, I know that my husband likes all this junk, all the milkshake, burgers, sandwiches. So most times I know that sandwiches are easy to fix, like maybe a chicken sandwich, and I'll be like, so I usually keep, like when I buy chicken, I usually keep like the breast. I don't use it, because usually when you even cook chicken breast, it's not really nice, in food. When you fry it, it's just dry, it's just there. But when you use it as maybe for you shredded chicken, or you use it for sauce, or this stir fry sauce, is better because you make it tender and all that, right? So I keep it usually for chicken sandwich, because my husband likes chicken sandwich. So I'm like, okay, I have chicken, I have veggies, I have the ingredients. So okay, would you like to have a chicken sandwich instead? I'm like, oh yes, I think that's better. I'm not really feeling, I don't really want to eat swallow today, And when he comes back, I've made chicken, so he's happy. He's happy. Some people are like, oh, your husband is always singing. These are some of the few things that you can do as a wife, that makes your spouse or your partner to adore you, literally, right? Adore you. Okay, so I make the chicken sandwich. So what happened? What's there? What happened to me? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So sometimes we need to learn to be flexible, and we need to understand that our husband is the head. We are the body. Some people say we're the neck, whatever. They are the ones that God has put as our spiritual authority. That's the truth. They are our spiritual authority. They are our heads, right? And because they are one with you, because you sleep on the same bed, you eat together, you play together, you yab one another, it doesn't mean that you should forget the role that God has given to him over your life. I remember when this thing hit me, it was when I changed my name, on Facebook. When I just got married, I changed my name on Facebook to my husband's name, and I was like, man, so I'm now bearing this man's name. Like, you're already bearing his name, so what? There's no need to be dragging. You do it with humility. I feel like, sometimes women, I know that we have men who have, that problem of, authority. When you just say one thing, they just feel like, but I know that we women too, there's a way that we talk, there's a way that we behave too sometimes, there's a way that we question our husbands too. There's a way that the husband will say, honey, see this thing as simple as a meal plan, change of meal. Just no. So I know some people, no, I'm not going to eat this. That is what we're going to eat. Let's stick to this meal plan. Let's be sticking to it. I don't like this thing, it is quarrel. The next thing is quarrel, and it just feels, the man just feels like, did I say anything wrong? He just asked this woman, for a change of meal, change of plan. Why is it so hard? Life is not supposed to be that hard, right? I don't know, but I just feel like life is not supposed to be that difficult. Like, we all should learn how to be flexible, and we should carry this thing, this responsibility, this grace that God has given us, this powerful grace, over our lives. We should carry it with all humility, such that we're not disrespecting our husbands in the process. We're not, insulting anybody. We are not dragging authority with your husbands. You count it a privilege. You do it with all sincerity, with all love, with all service. Yes. And that is one way that the Holy Spirit actually helps. Right? The Holy Spirit helps us in these areas. He gives you the wisdom. He gives you the strength. Even when you're dealing with a very difficult man. Some husbands are difficult, right? But the Holy Spirit gives you the wisdom. The Holy Spirit gives you the strength, to be able to do this. Good friendship, godly friendship is very important, because sometimes it can be your friend who will just encourage you through that season, right? But the Bible says that a quiet and a gentle spirit, a quiet answer turns away wrath or anger, right? And sometimes when your husband comes up with those kinds of confrontations, right? Answer, the way that you respond to is very important, okay? And it will help him to realize that, okay, this is me, right? This is me stepping off here, and that can also help him retrace his steps. But if your husband is feeling that way, and you're also letting your feelings get in, and then everybody is just letting their feelings get in, it's always a disaster, right? So we have to learn how to be emotionally in control, right, in certain situations like this, okay? And also, most importantly, carry grace with humility. This is so important. Make sure that you carry grace with humility, right? Okay, so let me quickly go to the next question so that we can wrap up the video. Okay, this one says, how have you practically overcome self-sabotaging in your calling or career especially with motherhood and managing the home. How have you overcome practically self-sabotaging in your calling or career, especially with motherhood and managing the home? I would like to say here that managing the home and motherhood, they are jobs. Like motherhood on its own is a job, then managing the home is a job too. Because managing the home is different from motherhood. Motherhood is you and your child, right? You and your children, parenting and all of that. Managing the home, that one is your children plus your husband plus the home, the house too, housekeeping. All those are part under managing of the home, right? And these days we live in a time and a day where most women work. A lot of women, right, work like active work, even if they're not working out, they work from home and all that, and they also have to manage the home, But I would love to say that managing the home and motherhood, right, for every wife, that this should be your first duty. It should be your first job. Like, don't joke with it, because I feel you don't want to have lived maybe 30-40 years as a mother or as a wife, and then you look back and you're not proud of the things that you did. You're not happy about how you committed your time and your resources, right? And I think that this is a very good question, and it's very important, because the home is a ministry to every wife. The children are a ministry to every wife. The man and the wife, you co-parent your children, right? But because normally, generally, okay, the children tend to spend more time with their mother, right? Normally, except on some exceptions. There are exceptions where, okay, the man works from home, or the man is out of job and the woman is the one working or something like that. But generally, usually, the woman is the one who spends more time with the children. She pick from school, come back home, stay at home and all that. And I want to say that sometimes it's not even job that makes some mothers not do their jobs. Sometimes it's even TV. Sometimes it's even social media. Like, you're not even working, but you're not even giving, like, somebody that is even working because she knows how to manage her time better than you do, would even be doing more, right, in terms of parenting her children, in terms of managing the home, because she has learned structure, she has learned how to use routines and structure to run her home. And somebody that is just there, is not intentional about it. Even if the woman is not working, she's just there, she's not be picking, I get picking, finish. There's no intentionality about this thing. You understand? That's one point I would like to say, answer this question. You have to be intentional. Motherhood is not just that you just born. You are entrusted with a life, with lives, right? To nurture, to train, to raise. Okay, and also your home. You are responsible for your home. You're responsible. A wise woman builds her home, right? And when you now put this, in parallel with your job or your career, structures help a lot. Just like what I said earlier, structures and routine, they help. They're very helpful. And I feel like a lot of women are not using this taking advantage of it, right? Like, set up structures that such that things can run, especially some simple things in the home. For example, we live in a tech era. Invest in a washing machine. When you're washing your clothes, you can be fixing breakfasts. You understand? Let's say your husband is not around. If you have a husband that is supportive, that helps, please, husbands, help your wives more, right? Because these days women work just as much as men. Okay, but your husband is at home. You can nicely ask your husband. Don't some people will do this thing as, oh, you are supposed to. You are supposed to has caused plenty problem. Yes, he's supposed to. But don't come and be saying, oh, you are supposed to. You are supposed to. But when it's time to release money for monthly food,
this in the house, running cost of the house, you will not bring that. You will be keeping your own money. You want to collect from him, but you are supposed to. Right? Because in every institution, you need to learn roles and responsibilities. The man has his role, the wife has her role, and majority bulk of the work when it comes to home management, home, care and all of that rests on the shoulders of the wife. Whether you like it or not, the earlier you accept it, the better, right? Bulk of that responsibility rests on the wife. If you have a very nice husband, a very good husband, he's going to help you. Thank God, praise the Lord, be happy about it, encourage him to do more, okay? But if you don't have that kind of husband, maybe because he grew up in a family where his mother was the Jackie and the father was the chairman, those kind of homes, and then you are trying to explain to your husband that no, and together we're equal. Some men don't understand that English, and you will just be hurting yourself as a woman. There are ways to go around that, right? And that's not the discussion here. Maybe some other video will talk about that, right? But my point is, you need to learn how to use structures, use all these structures to help yourself, plan yourself. Planning is very important. Planning. How do you manage your time, right? How do you manage your time? Do you plan for the week? Do you plan for a day? Do you plan, okay, for example, whenever I pick up my child from school, he's just 3. Start asking him questions. How was school today? What happened in school today? He cannot talk clearly yet. He just blabs. Do you know that from just doing this, I've been able to find out the names of literally all his classmates, because he keeps mentioning their names. He can mention names, right? So he'll be like, Tayo beating me. Otito doing this, drag my chair. He's just, the words are not very clear, but you can pick some of the words, especially the names, right? We talk about his teacher, Miss Elizabeth. He just, so every day he comes home, he knows that mommy is going to ask him. He knows already, right? And that moment, I'm creating that routine so that every day I deliberately have that time with my child, right? Also in the evenings, at night, no matter how busy the day was or what happened or whatever, I try, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes 20-30 minutes, on the bed, I just hold him. Okay, let's read a book together. Okay, let's do handwriting together. Okay, let's practice spelling words together. Okay, let's read a story together where I'll now demonstrate, act. He loves this Elmo storybook a lot. This is Elmo's storybook, so we'll just be reading Elmo, or we'll be doing something, sharing. That moment of bonding has become a routine for us. So every evening I try my best to stick to it. I try my best, even if I don't spend any time with my son within the day, which I do, right? At least that time I have it with him, non-negotiable. Set up routines are helpful. They will help you to you make sure that you're spending time with your children, you're spending time with your spouse, you're spending time with your husband, right? You have family time where you watch TV together, where you watch a movie together. No matter how busy both of you are, you have that routine, that time, those moments, you maximize those times with one another. Okay, so these are some of the practical ways that have been helpful for me, right? That has helped me to manage running my home, being a mother, as well as doing my work. Okay, because if you don't have some of these routines, if you don't set some of these things, I'm telling you, you will just be, you just find out that in a day you're with your child, you're even there with your child, but you didn't really spend that quality time. Maybe you was just watching cartoon on the phone and you're just doing your own thing, maybe watching movie or social media or whatever. He's there, we are watching him, but you're not bonding really. You're not really bonding with that child, so you have to be deliberate about these activities. And another thing is, get help as much as you can. Take care of yourself as well. This, when you take care of yourself, you are effective as a person. Your tank is full, so you can pour from that tank. You don't want to be running on empty and doing all this together. You can break down, you can lose your mind, right? And that's not what we want. Okay, I think I've stayed on this question a lot. I think I've answered more. Okay, well, you seem quiet and you're married. I think I've answered that. Do you have any regrets? I think I've answered that. Okay, so yes, this brings us to the end of this question and answer. I hope you learned one or two things. I also hope you got to know me a little bit more as we go on this channel. I believe that we're going to be learning a lot. We're going to be talking a lot about family, about food, about lifestyle, general lifestyle, about faith. Thank you very much for watching to the end. I already love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, subscribe, please. I'm begging you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Is this how it's done? I think so.